Hey, everybody. Michelle here. I just wanted to come on real quick and, see how everybody's doing. I'm doing fantastic. I know sometimes I can come across as being kind of intense and all that, but that's really not my personality. But I just had to learn to kind of develop a certain, what do you call it, mug, a facial mug, and try to develop neutrality in my face. But most of the time I'm laughing and having a good time, and I'm not taking myself quite seriously. But sometimes when I'm delivering serious information, I have to put a little bit more force into, how I'm talking to people and whatnot, just to get things across. So I hope that makes sense. If not, don't worry about it. I'm doing great. I threw a concept out, I don't know what I did a while ago about rumination, overthinking, and I want to give you my concept, my theories on that, because I think rumination, in my opinion, is life threatening. Okay, I'm being real serious about that, but not to the fact that you need to be fearful of it. And everything I'm talking about from on this subject of rumination is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, it's theories, and you can take it or leave it. But in my opinion, in my experience with dealing with all walks of life, and it's just attempting to communicate better with people. I had to understand about their personalities and how they express themselves, right? So I've thrown out quite, a few times that what type of personality I am, and that means not type of personality. No, I mean how I express myself. I'm sorry, how I express myself. Personality is a little bit different, and I'll get to that one day, or whatever. I've said to you, yeah, I'm a visual person, and that I am. I know visual. I process stuff visually, meaning you notice my eyes are always all over the place. Okay, because I'm attempting to take in what people are saying to me visually. I mean, just trying to process it visually. Okay, and then there's another expression is auditory. People that auditory means they have a strong sense of of sounds, and then the last one is the fillers. I call them fillers. They're emotional. They express themselves emotionally. Okay, and so through my self-education, I've been self-educated. I didn't go to college, the type of college I wanted to go to, and I still thank my dad for that, because he knew he knew college life. College life was not for me. Even though I thought it was, and I thought I was going to be able to go to college, and he stopped that right away. He knew what type of person I was. He knew I was visual, and that I had to work with my hands or work with my vision or something like that. I'm a visionary type of person, processor, just like he was. And visionaries are usually boys, because and I'll explain real quick about visionaries, because I know who I am. I know that I'm a dominant visionary person, meaning we're thinking with kind of thinking all out of space. We're abstract thinking, just all over the place with our thoughts, and it's so easy for us to get delusional. And the delusional part is where we run into problems with rumination. Because you're being delusional. You're just over visualizing and being overstimulated by what your visual input. And the perfect people that manipulate visionary people are strippers. Strippers are fantastic with visionary people. That's why I'm saying most men and boys are visionaries, because they know how to get these men and some women, to pay their tuition. You know what I'm saying? Give them their house, give them a car. Strippers are fantastic, and that's the dark side of it. That's the dark side manipulation part. And also, as a visionary person, I'm my eyes are all over the place, because I'm just trying to process what you're saying to me, what you're doing, and so I can understand you better. And the next person, and I'll go into detail about that later down the line. But I just want to give you an introduction to what I meant by rumination, and how you have to know how people process things, right? So the next one is auditory. They're talking in sounds, and they can talk They can talk. They can talk. They can stay on the phone for hours. I can't do it. They can stay on the phone for hours. I can't do it. And see, the thing about auditory people, you gotta stop them from talking sometimes. And so sometimes you gotta make sounds. You gotta make sounds. And I did that earlier in one of the videos when I said shut the fuck up. That's just a interrupter. Okay, now I'll explain why I did that, a little bit. But let me just say about auditory. I get really concerned about auditory because my grandniece, she's an auditory, and they like to talk. They like to talk. They like to disrupt the classrooms. They like music. They're easily distracted. They can be clumsy. They can be, and like I said, they can just talk, easily distracted. They can get caught up in a television program, and there's nothing you can do to kind of bring them out of that. And so the thing with someone that's auditory and talking a lot, talking, they don't usually give you a chance to speak, unfortunately, But there's good and bad with everything, positive, negative. That's not the whole point of it all. It's just being aware. What type of person are you? Who am I? And that's what you need to know so that you can better, relate to other people. If that's an issue for you. If you don't have an issue with it, fantastic. But auditories worry me because their brain is constantly going. And so with the auditory, when they start ruminating, you're not going to sleep. You will never sleep as long as you're in rumination. So you're going to have to figure out how to settle that down. Maybe some soothing music, always constantly playing in the background. But, it's just, these are just tools and stuff like that. Some soothing music playing in the background. I don't like auditories with headphones in, those headphones in their ears. That concerns me. Okay, because of the line of work I was in, pedestrians getting in, I don't like that. And, but if you're in rumination and you are auditory type person, all you're doing is hearing the same stuff over. Whether it's your voice or somebody else's voice, you're just hearing stuff over and over and over. And you're not shutting your brain off, and you won't sleep. A lot of them are sleep deprived. You won't ever sleep if you don't get that under control. And hopefully, all of this, please consult professionals to help you with rumination. Whether it's a visual rumination, being just delusional and just thinking all over the place with your thoughts, abstract. I think it's abstract thinking. You got to break that, you got to stop that, and that you need to find something to interrupt all of that. And what interrupts it for me, I'm just going to be real honest, is visual stimulation. So if you can visually throw something in my face, okay, you got my attention. It doesn't have to be, what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be anything, but hey, I don't mind. Just something like just something you got to say, hey, Michelle, get my attention and be talking to me and with the visual stimulation. Otherwise, I'm always paying attention. All of these people, whether you're visionary, auditory, or feelers, you're paying attention. There's no, anybody says you're not paying attention, you're paying attention, but you're not, you're kind of processing things differently. And so with me, as a visionary person, if you're just in my ear, talking without any kind of visual stimulation, then I'm listening to you, but I'm not going to be, I'll probably look over at you at one moment. I'll probably look at you at one moment, and my eyes will be all over the place, and I'm like, and then I may appear like I'm not paying attention and that I'm bored, and that's not the case. Now, fillers. Let me just be real honest with you. I really concern myself with fillers, and when I'm saying people that are in their emotions, in their emotional modalities. Sorry, it's called something else, but you're in your feelings. You're in your emotions, and the thing is, sadly, if you are ruminating, overthinking, all you're doing is reliving all your abuse over and over and over and over and over. So if you are physically abused, you're gonna be feeling that over and over and over and over. So please, if you are overthinking, in rumination, whether it's visual, whether it's auditory, whether it's when I say, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, auditory or feeling in your emotions. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? That's fillers. And the thing about fillers is they usually are caregivers or mothers. They have this high instinctual about stuff, and they're usually right. They're usually right. They usually know when something's wrong with their kids, or they usually, if they say, oh my, when I saw that guy, the hair stood up on the back of my neck. If you hear them saying that, you better pay attention. You better pay attention. But at the same time, they need to know how to control their emotions. Because, if you were violently abused, you can be violent. It's always a cause and effect. And like I said, with auditory, I know myself very well. At some point, we all know who we are. We all know who we are, and sometimes you just gotta apply it. Just apply who you are, and start using these things. It's like having a manual on how to drive. And you're scoring fantastically on the quizzes and everything. But if you don't get out there and drive, then, you're not going to know what it's like. So that's what I did. I had to learn, I self-educated myself, right? And so I had to learn how to use these concepts in order to deal with people on the street. Because I dealt with all walks of life. And the way that I had to learn how to communicate with these people is I had to bring them to first of all, I need to know what they were. Are they visuals? Are they auditory? Are they feelers and their feelings? And I need to try to communicate to them in those terms. Like, if they say, do you feel me? Yeah, I'll repeat, yes, I feel you. I'll try to talk to them in feelings. And if they say, well, do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Yeah, I hear you. Just be calm about it. And then if I say, well, if someone says to me, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'll say, yeah, I see what you're saying. So you just gotta work through all of that and look it up. Look up rumination. But if you are, I suggest everybody get therapy about everything. I don't see no problem with everybody getting therapy. I put myself in therapy in my 20s because I needed to work out how to process and because otherwise I was driving myself crazy. I was driving myself insane because I realized I'm a visionary person. That's why I wasn't. You can't be talking in my ear. I'm just being real honest and think that I'm learning anything. I'll recall it, but that's not the way I learn. That's not the way I learn. That's why I can't be sitting in no college classroom. Like I said, my dad knew that. So, and then of course the fillers, you're very emotional. You need to be held, but at the same time, you have to be real careful with physical people. Fillers, because they can be violent too. So just look this kind of concepts up, develop your own, but you need to make it simplified so that you can register right away. Okay, this person is auditory. So let me figure out how I can talk to them in auditory terms and then see what happens. I can't imagine a teacher, dealing with all these little things going around, because I'm going to say something real quick. I know I do long videos, but I don't know what else to do. I need to make sure I'm being effective and clear and my intentions are met. But, like I have a grandniece and she's auditory, and she is just being so disruptive in class because she wants to talk all the time. She wants to sing and interrupt the teacher. She's easily distracted. She loves attention. And if you are giggling at her jokes and giggling at her behavior, it stimulates her more and more and more. So my niece, her mother, is just doing everything she can to kind of break that. Get their attention with sound so that they can just, snap out at it, because they're very, very easily distracted. And I worry about my niece because they can be very clumsy, or they can be and see, boys are different, and I'll go into that differently later, but these are my experiences. But I worry more about girls because they don't balance very well like men do, or boys have a great balance. Girls usually are clumsy and tripping and so distracted and oof. So my niece is having an issue with her, and I told my niece to try to incorporate certain tools and stuff to help her, do better in school, because she's disrupting the teacher and the teacher's getting irritated. She has these loud, she has loud braids, she has braids in her hair, and she's constantly flipping those bees, just making sound and just interrupting the teacher, and it's just driving everybody insane. So I hope that makes sense. Rumination, in my opinion, is life-threatening. So please get to your therapist and help them, and see if they can help you neutralize that, that overthinking and regurgitating and just thinking the same kind of stuff over and over and over. Because you're not going to sleep. Okay, you're not going to heal your pain, and you're not going to come out of your delusion either. All right, so if that makes sense, I hope so. If not, just do the best you can. Peace and love.